Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today it is time to do some new NFL predictions. Training camps are going to be starting here in the next couple of weeks for a lot of these teams, so now is the perfect time to get back in and start making some predictions. So we are, of course, as always, starting on the left, moving right. We're going to go through this kind of quick and talk more about it at the end. So AFC Week 1, Chiefs, Chargers in Brazil. I am going to give this to the Chiefs. Steelers, Jets. I'm going to give that to This is a hard one. I'm going to give it to the Steelers. Aaron Rodgers' revenge game against the Jets. Justin Fields' revenge game against the Steelers, but I'm not much of a Justin Fields believer. I don't have a lot of faith in him really at all. Miami versus Indy. I'm going to give this to the Colts, actually, because I think Miami is on the precipice of absolute disaster. The more stories that come out about Miami this year, the less and less I feel like they're going to be a good team. So I'm going to give this to the Colts, just barely. Bengals over Browns. I have very little faith in the Browns at all this year. Their quarterback situation is abysmal. It's almost as bad as the Saints. The Browns are just not very good. Defensively, they should be all right. Offensively, I think they're screwed. Patriots, Raiders. I'm going to give this to the Patriots. I think the Patriots could shock a lot of people this year. Titans, Broncos. Broncos pretty easily, I think, in that one. The Titans just have a lot of problems. The roster's not very good, and the Broncos week 1 for a brand new rookie quarterback, that is, Cam Ward is going to be in hell. Let's see here. Baltimore and Buffalo. I'm going to give this to Buffalo. Carolina and Jacksonville. I'll give that to the Jags. Texans, Rams. I'll give that to the Rams. Cowboys, Eagles, give me the Eagles. Give me the Cardinals over the Saints. Again, the Saints, I think, are the worst team in the league right now. Titans could be up there. Miami, it's not a super far spread, but the Saints are awful. Let's see here. Buccaneers, Falcons, I'll give week 1 to the Bucs. Giants and Commanders, I'll give that to the Commanders. The Giants defense I actually think will be incredibly good this year. But again, the offense, there's a lot of question marks there. 49ers, Seahawks, I'll give that to the 49ers. Lions, Packers, I'll give that to the Lions. Vikings, Bears, I'll give that to the Vikings. Bills, Jets, Bills easily. Patriots over the Dolphins. Jacksonville and Cincinnati. I'll give that to Cincinnati. Browns, Ravens. Ravens pretty easily. I'll take the Broncos over the Colts. I'll take the Chargers over the Raiders. Rams over Titans. Again, Cam Ward, I think, has the worst start a rookie quarterback could ever ask for. It's Sean Payton directly into Sean McVay. The only way to make that worse is to bring Belichick out of retirement, right? That is, you've got your work cut out for you, my man. I feel for you. Seahawks, Steelers, I'll give that to the Seahawks. Eagles, Chiefs. Eagles are on a mini bye. I'll give that to the Eagles. Buccaneers and Texans, I think I will give that to the Texans. Commanders, Packers, I'll give that to the Commies. Giants, Cowboys. I'm actually going to give this to the Giants. I don't think the Cowboys are going to be very good this year, just because their running back situation, I think, might be one of the worst in the league. Javonte Williams and Miles Sanders is just not moving the needle for me. That one guy that's 5'4", I don't even know if he'll make the team. They drafted a rookie as well. I think Jadon Blue in the 5th or 6th round. Don't have a lot of high hopes for him either. So I'll give that to the Giants. I'll give this to the 49ers. I'll take the Lions over the Bears. I will take the Panthers over the Cardinals, and the Vikings over the Falcons. Kirk Cousins will not be able to get his revenge because he will not be starting, but I think that's the first time Kirk Cousins will be back in Minnesota. Correct me if I'm wrong. Let's see here. Bills over Dolphins. I'll take the Titans over the Colts. I'll take the Patriots over the Steelers. Texans over Jags. Broncos over Chargers. I will take... This is actually a hard one. I will take the Bengals over the Vikings just because the Vikings secondary, there are some question marks there. But, of course, the Bengals defense might be one of the worst in the league points-wise. They'll probably give up 35 points per game. I would hope that this is a shootout, right? Right, you got the top 2 wide receivers in the league quite comfortably. Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson, whichever order you want to put those two in. I could see arguments on both sides. Me personally, I would put Justin Jefferson just slightly ahead of Jamar Chase, but that's just me. But by far, these are the 2 best receivers in the NFL. It's without a question, right? Without a doubt. Jets and Bucks, I'll take the Buccaneers. Raiders, Commanders, I think I will take the Raiders. I think Pete Carroll is a guy that doesn't like to lose. They're 0-2. I think they'll come back swinging. Packers, Browns, give me the Packers. Chiefs, Giants, give me Chiefs. Lions, Ravens, give me the Ravens. Rams, Eagles, give me the Eagles. Falcons, Panthers, give me Falcons. Saints, Seahawks, give me Seahawks. Cardinals, Niners, give me the Cardinals. Cowboys, Bears, give me the Bears. Let's see here. Titans, Texans, I'll take Texans. Ravens, Chiefs, I'll take the Ravens. I feel like in every one of these prediction videos that I do, I really favor the Ravens, right? Like, I'm always picking the Ravens to do really, really well. And then the playoffs happen and they let me down. Jets, Dolphins. I think this will be the first win of the year for the Dolphins. Bengals, Broncos. Give me the Broncos. I think that defense will be able to hold the Bengals offense in check. This is probably going to be the best defense in the league, right? Like, the Broncos, I think, are going to be nuts. I don't think they're going to be Super Bowl contenders, but I think they're going to be a very good regular season team. Vikings, Steelers, give me the Vikings. I don't think the Steelers are a very good team. Like, I think they're going to have a top 10 draft pick. Panthers, Patriots, give me the Patriots. Chargers, Giants, I'll take the Chargers. Bills over the Saints. I don't see the Saints winning a single game this year, to be honest with you. Lions over Browns, Rams over Colts, Jacksonville over the 49ers, Raiders over Bears, Seahawks over Cardinals, Eagles over Bucks. Actually, I think the Bucks can pull that off. I think the Bucks are like a scrappy underdog that can fight with anyone. I think the Buccaneers upset the world, shock the world, and win over the Eagles. I'll take the Commies over the Falcons. I'll take Packers over Dallas. Texans, Ravens. I'll take the Ravens. I'll take the Raiders over the Colts. Bills over the Patriots. Chiefs over the Jags. I'll take the Vikings over the Browns just because the Browns are terrible. And they've never lost in London. So this is basically a home game for them because there are actually a lot of Vikings fans in the UK. I think it's like closing in on the highest fan base in the UK. Like, I think it's Jacksonville and Minnesota are the top 2. I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, of course, but I think that's how it works. Dallas and New York. I'm going to give that to Dallas. Broncos and Eagles. I'll give it to the Eagles. Miami and Carolina. Give me Carolina. Tennessee and Arizona. I'll take Tennessee. The Commanders and Chargers. Give me the Chargers. Give me the Lions over the Bengals. Give me the Rams over the Niners. I'll take the Giants over the Saints, and the Bucks over the Seahawks. Another UK game over here in Week 6. Broncos-Jets. Broncos easily by far and away. Steelers over Browns. Chargers over Dolphins. Raiders over Titans. Give me Jacksonville over the Seahawks. Give me the Rams over the Ravens. I'll take the Cardinals over the Colts. Patriots over Saints. Bengals over Packers. Chiefs over Lions. Bills over Falcons. Eagles over Giants. Buccaneers over the Niners. Well, yeah, I feel fine with that. Give me Dallas over the Panthers. Give me the Commies over the Bears. Moving into Week 7 now. I'll take the Bengals over the Steelers. Patriots over the Titans. Chiefs over Raiders. Browns over Dolphins. Chargers over Colts. Rams over Jags. This is another UK game. I didn't know we had 3 UK games this year. I thought it was only the 2 of them, but we have 3. Give me the Jets over Carolina. Broncos over Giants. Texans over Seahawks. I don't know why I said Ravens. Eagles over Vikings. Bears over Saints. Cardinals over Packers. Washington and Dallas. Give me Washington. Give me Niners over Falcons. Give me the Buccaneers over the Lions. They beat them last year. I think they can do it again. Give me the Bengals over Jets. Patriots over Browns. Give me the Titans over the Colts. Give me Chargers over Vikings. Give me Niners over Texans. Give me Bills over Carolina. Give me the Falcons over the Dolphins. Give me the Ravens over the Bears. Broncos over the the Cowboys. Give me Packers over Steelers. Chiefs over Commies. Eagles over Giants. Bucks over Saints. Moving now into Week 9. Give me the Ravens over the Dolphins. The Broncos over the Texans. Chargers over the Titans. Colts over Steelers. Give me Raiders over Jacksonville. Give me the Bills over the Chiefs. Give me the Bengals over the Bears. Actually, give me the Bears. Falcons over Patriots. Packers over Carolina. Give me Lions at home off of a bye over the Vikings. Give me the 49ers over the Giants. Rams over Saints. Seahawks over Commies. And Cardinals over Cowboys. Let's see here. Broncos over Raiders. Jacksonville over Texas. Give me the Jets over the Browns. Bills over the Dolphins. Chargers over Steelers. I'll take the Colts again over the Falcons. Ravens over Vikings. Buccaneers over the Patriots. Bears over Giants. Carolina over New Orleans. Cardinals over the Seahawks. Rams over Niners. Commies over Lions. Eagles over Packers. Give me Patriots over the Jets. Texans over Titans. Bengals over Steelers. Chargers over Jacksonville. Broncos over Chiefs. Ravens over Browns. Commies over Dolphins. Bills over Bucks. Raiders over Cowboys. Vikings over Bears. Falcons over Panthers. Giants over Packers. Rams over Seahawks. 49ers over the Cardinals. Eagles over Lions. Bills over Texans. Chiefs over Colts. Bengals over Patriots. Ravens over Jets. Raiders over Browns. Bears over Steelers. Seahawks over Titans. Jacksonville over the Cardinals. Give me the Vikings over Packers. Lions over Giants. Falcons over Saints. Eagles over Cowboys, Rams over Bucks, and Niners over Panthers. A lot of this is just intuition, right? Like, it's just straight off the dome, just what I'm looking at and how I feel. Give me the Ravens over the Bengals. Give me the Jags over the Titans. Give me Texans over Colts. Chargers over Raiders. Bills over Steelers. Chiefs over Cowboys. Dolphins over Saints. Falcons over Jets. Niners over Browns. Broncos over Commies. Patriots over the Giants. Lions over the Packers. Eagles over Bears. Buccaneers over the Falcons. Rams over Panthers. Give me the Vikings over the Seahawks. Sam Darnold unable to get his revenge. Let's see here. Give me the Jets over the Dolphins. Give me... Steelers will find a way to sneak a win against the Ravens. They always do. I'll take the Colts over the Jags. Titans over Steelers. Raiders over Broncos. Bills over Bengals. Chiefs over Texans. Eagles over Chargers. Lions over Cowboys. Packers over Bears. Vikings over Commies. Seahawks over Falcons. Bucks over Saints. Rams over Cardinals. Give me the Chargers over the Chiefs. Bengals over the Ravens. Patriots over the Bills. Give me the Jags over the Jets. Steelers over Dolphins. Cardinals over Texans. Bears over Browns. Eagles over Raiders. Give me the Niners over the Titans. Give me the Colts over the Seahawks. Give me the Broncos over the Packers. Bucks over Falcons. Commies over Giants. Rams over Lions. Panthers over Saints. Vikings over Cowboys. Give me the Chiefs over the Titans. Ravens over Patriots. Bills over Browns. Broncos over Jags. Raiders over Texans. Bengals over Dolphins. Chargers over Cowboys. Jets over Saints. Lions over Steelers. Niners over Colts. Give me Rams over Seahawks. Bears over Packers. Eagles over Commies. Vikings over Giants. Bucks over Panthers. Falcons over Cardinals. Moving into Week 17, I'll take the Chiefs over the Broncos. The Chargers over the Texans. Jags over Colts. Patriots over Steelers. Not Steelers, Jets, sorry. Steelers over Browns. I'll take the Giants over the Raiders. Ravens over Packers. Bengals over Cardinals. Titans over Saints. Bucks over Dolphins. Eagles over Bills. Commies over the Cowboys. Vikings at home over the Lions. This is a toughie, but I'll take the Seahawks over the Panthers. Actually, give me the Panthers. Bears over Niners. Rams over Falcons. Chiefs over Raiders. Chargers over Broncos. Texans over Colts. Bengals over Browns. Bills over Jets. Patriots over Dolphins. Ravens over Steelers. Jags over Titans. Rams over Cardinals. Niners over the Seahawks. Vikings over Packers. Lions over Bears. Falcons over the Saints. Cowboys over the Giants. Eagles over the Commies. And the Buccaneers over the Panthers. Alright. With that all done, let's take a look at the damage that has been done. So in the AFC, we have the Bills in the first seed, 15-2. Patriots are 12-5. Jets are 4-3. Dolphins are 2-15. I think this is fine. Patriots are maybe a little too high. I think they're maybe closer to a 10-7, but their schedule is really easy. They don't play a lot of tough opponents. They play mostly garbage. And I think they are better than the Jets and the Dolphins quite handedly. I think they are better than these two teams. So this is fine for me. AFC West, we have the Chargers at 14-3, Broncos at 13-4, and Chiefs at 12-5. I think this will be the final records for these three teams. I think they will all make the playoffs. The order might be wrong, right? But I think this is what the AFC West will look like, with the Raiders just barely missing the playoffs, 9-8, 10-7, something like that. I think this is also fine conceptually. I don't hate where this is at. The AFC North, we have the Ravens at 14-3, Bengals at 11-6, Steelers at 5-12, and Browns at 1-16. And yes, everyone is going to go on and on and on ad nauseum about Mike Tomlin having... What just happened there? Okay. About Mike Tomlin having never had a losing season. But the problem with that is Mike Tomlin has a bunch of seasons just at 500 or a game above 500. It's a completely overrated measure that we need to stop using. All right? It is meaningless. Mike Tomlin needs to be gone from the Steelers. And probably their GM as well. The Steelers are not in a good place, and they're not a good team. Their defense is old. TJ Watt is declining. Cameron Hayward is declining. Alex Highsmith is still pretty good. They just traded Minkah Fitzpatrick. Sure, they got Jalen Ramsey, but their secondary is still very much lacking at the safety spot. I don't know. I don't trust the Steelers. I have very little faith in Aaron Rodgers coming off of an Achilles. He wasn't bad last year. He wasn't bad. He wasn't as bad as Kirk Cousins. He was fine, but he is 42 years old. So, let's temper our expectations on the Steelers. The Browns are a mess, 1-16. I think even that might be generous. I don't like any of their quarterback options. I absolutely hate him. I think Kevin Stefanski is probably going to get fired, and maybe not entirely of his own fault, but it's still, I don't know. The Browns are not in a good place. I don't know why Myles Garrett agreed to come back. I would have fucked off. AFC South, Jaguars 9-8, Texans 7-10, Titans 5-12, and Colts 5-12. I think that's mostly fine. I might be a little bit low on the Texans. I think that team is just really weird. Their defense, I think, is fine. Offensively, I have questions there. Especially because they lost Tank Dell again. Nico Collins has been dealing with some injuries. They did draft 2 wide receivers. I don't know. The Texans are a weird one for me. I think I might be too low on them. But the other two, 5-12, I think is fine. Moving on to the NFC, we have the Eagles at 16-1. I think they're the best team in football, and it's not close. I think doubting them is probably stupid at this point, even with the fact that I've watched Nick Sirianni go to 2 Super Bowls in the last 3 years, and I still don't know if he's a good coach. It is what it is. Commanders at 7, 9-8. I think that's fine. I'm not quite as high on them as others. I think Jaden Daniels will still have a great season, but there are still definitely some question marks in Washington for me. Giants at 4-13. I think that's fine. Cowboys at 3-14. Might seem ludicrous to some people, but to me, I don't like who they hired as coach. I don't think Brian Schottenheimer is the answer. I think he's a throwaway coach, just like Gerard Mayo was last year. I don't like the Cowboys' defense. It's Micah Parsons and nothing. It's like Trayvon Diggs is there, sure, I guess. I'm not very impressed by Trayvon Diggs, especially last year. I am not convinced on the Cowboys at all. I think they're a bad team. The Rams, 16-1. I might be a little too high on them, but I do really think they're a great team. They keep getting better defensively. All of the rookies they had last year really popped off. The rookies before that popped off. The Rams could very well be a very dangerous team. And they have Devontae Adams now, who is declining. He's not the player that he was, but I think he will be better than Cooper Kupp. 49ers 11-6 I think is fine. I think that's about where their peak is this year. Just offensively, I don't trust what's happening there. Brandon Ayuk is probably going to start the year on the PUP list I just saw this morning. Christian McCaffrey, who knows what his year is going to look like. He's getting older. He's had some injury history. It might be George Kittle as the wide receiver one for a chunk of the year. The Cardinals 7-10. I don't think Kyler Murray is taking that next step. I think Kyler Murray is who he is at this point. The Seahawks at 6-11. I think that feels fine. Sam Darnold without an O-line. Yeah. Buccaneers 14-3. I might be a little high on the Buccaneers as well. I think they're by far and away the best team in this division. Without a shadow of a doubt, I think they're the best team in this division. But losing Liam Cohen, I think, will impact their performance. So I'll have to look at that for next time. But again, easily the best team in this division. Falcons 8-9. I think that's perfectly fine. I think that's about where they'll finish. Panthers 5-12. I think they could improve that number this year for sure. But we'll have to wait and see. I have question marks about their receivers, about their tight ends. There are questions for sure. Saints 0-17. Yeah. What do you want me to say? This team is terrible. Every single aspect of this team is bad. There is one player on the Saints that is worth anything, and it's Chris Olave, and they have done nothing to protect him. Derek Carr threw 7 hospital balls, okay? The Saints suck. Okay, I don't mean to sound like a hater when I say this. I say this with love. Mickey Loomis is one of the worst general managers in the entire NFL. He is awful at his job. He's a terrible talent evaluator. He's terrible at negotiating the contract situation. And I know that Saints fans will say that they only ended up in this position because of COVID and the cap shrink. And I say to you, no. You would have been in this situation regardless. COVID made it much worse. You probably would have been out of it by now if it weren't for COVID. I get that. But you were always going to be in a cap crunch because of the way the numbers work. Because Mickey Loomis is terrible at his job. He just keeps extending these old players that just need to retire at this point. That is the only cap flexibility they have. They have to sit there and they have to hope and pray to some merciful God that Demario Davis retires, that Cam Jordan retires, that Taysom Hill retires, so all these terrible, terrible contracts can get off the books. The Saints are a bad team, and I don't feel bad for them anymore. Because Mickey Loomis has got to go if this team wants to improve anytime soon. Anyways, Vikings at 12-5 I think is probably about their ceiling. I think this team is getting pretty badly underrated. This team has won with every quarterback they put out there, and they just improve every single year. They've added significant additions to both the offensive and defensive lines. Yes, Jonathan Allen and Javon Kinlaw. Is it Javon Kinlaw or Hargrave that they signed? One of the two. They're both older now. They're not entirely going to be the players they were, but I think they're definitely better than who they had back there. So I think that's fine. I like the offensive line additions that they made. I think that should be a huge improvement for them. And their offensive line wasn't even bad last year. It was just Sam Darnold holding on to the ball longer than anyone else in football. So I think the Vikings could be very, very good. The Lions taking a step back, 10-7. I think they're maybe like an 11-5, 12, or 11-6, 12-5 kind of thing, just because they've got two rookie linemen out there replacing Frank Ragnow and Kevin Zeitler, and I think that's really going to cause some struggle for them early on in the year, especially losing Ben Johnson and the way that he utilizes guys like Jameson Williams and stuff. I think that is going to impact them early in the year, and then they'll find their rhythm again at the later half of the season. So I think that's why their record looks the way that it does. The Bears at 8-9, I think that's fine. Packers at 5-12. This is another one that I think is going to shock a lot of people because I've seen plenty of reports lately, or predictions, I guess, where people are picking the Packers to win the North, and I think that's absolutely absurd. I think without question the Packers have the worst roster in the NFC North. I think they have the worst quarterback. I think they have the worst offensive line. I think they have the worst defensive line. Defensive line especially. Defensive line, easily the worst in the North. Secondary, easily the worst in the North. Maybe even tight end now is the worst in the North. Wide receiver, easily worst in the North. Like, the Packers aren't a super bad team, but like I look at the pieces of the puzzle and it looks hideous to me. So I'm not a big believer in the Packers this year. I'll probably get put on a spike for that, but that's just how I feel. So let's move now and just quickly go through playoff predictions. I'll take the Broncos over the Jacksonville Jaguars. I will take the Ravens over the Patriots and the Chargers over the Chiefs. Yes. I know everyone's doubting the Chiefs, and that's probably not a good idea, but I really like the Chargers, okay? I'll take the Vikings over the Niners, I'll take the Lions over the Bucks, and I will take the Rams over the Commies. Moving into the divisional round, I will take the Bills over the Broncos and the Ravens over the Chargers. I'll take the Rams over the Vikings and the Eagles over the Lions. Into the conference championship, I will take the Ravens over Bills and the Rams over Eagles. Into the Super Bowl, I'll pick the Rams over the Ravens to win it all. I know for a fact I had these exact same predictions for the Super Bowl last year around this time. So we'll see how that plays out. This is my final bracket for now. Of course, we'll revisit this again after the preseason, but this is where I stand currently. These are my feelings. You are free to disagree with me as always, but that's going to do it for this video. I thank you all very much for watching. I hope to speak with you all again soon, and goodbye for now.